All right, folks, we're going to move right along. Join me now, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, ranking member of the Senate Banking Committee and author of America, a Redemption Story, Choosing Hope and Creating Unity. Senator, this is, let me just put some sound on the board. You were kind of roughing up Jay Powell. It was a lot of fun for all of us to watch. Let me just play some sound, get you to comment on it.
Yes, sir. Spending and printing trillions of dollars, caving to the radical left in this country, seeing policies posited and then implemented that led to the worst inflation in 40 years.
So I had Senator Kennedy on last night on this same subject, Jay Powell, and he said that Jay Powell should go on Amazon and buy a spine in order to stand up to the big spenders, you know, most of whom are Democrats, although not all of them are Democrats. And I think you're saying the same thing. It's spending that's the root cause of this, and nobody wants to talk about that, at least openly.
Well, Larry, you hit the nail on the head. It is a spending problem we have. We have a spending crisis in this nation. The radical left have convinced Joe Biden to go along with it hand in glove. Literally, we spend too much, we tax too much, and then they blame too much. The truth of this administration is glaringly obvious. They should spend more time in the mirror blaming themselves. 9.1, remember 9.1% inflation, 13.5% inflation since he's been in office. We're talking about driving our seniors on fixed incomes into making very difficult decisions around rationing their medicine or their health care or their gas or their food. This is all avoidable. We need to win more elections so that we have fewer radicals on the left in charge of our spending in this country.
Well, how about, listen, whenever I talk to you, I think you're a supply side. You're a free market guy. So we should spend less, we should tax less, we should regulate less, we should keep the value of the currency. My point is, Jay Powell is in a difficult spot. He should just stand up and say that. Like, stop spending. Paul Volcker used to do that. Alan Greenspan used to do that. You know, that's what Senator Kennedy was referring to last night, or we were having a back and forth about it. He just, you know, Powell should just, what the heck? He's got this job for another couple of years. Do it the best you can. It's not about crushing the economy. It's about stopping spending and keeping the inflation pledge so people's living standards will hold.
Well, Larry, you're talking about the secret sauce of American progress. It's telling the truth. If we spend less, people keep their money. If they keep their money, we grow our economy. Why do we grow our economy? It's because you know how to spend your money better than we do. It's the most effective and efficient way for us to use capital. You can't use it twice. You can't give it to the government and to the private sector. I say, let the people keep their money and watch the American economy go boom in a positive way.
So that's a great economic growth and prosperity message. Okay?
It works.
And of course it does. And I'm not hearing enough of that. I'm not hearing much of that in terms of the, you know, the national presidential leaders, wannabes, and so forth and so on. I know you're thinking about running. Would that be your message? Or what else? Tell me what the vision is if Senator Scott throws his hat into the presidential ring.
Well, Larry, the blessing of the good Lord to be born an American is like winning the lottery of citizenship. As I look into the future of this country, the one thing I can tell you is we know that lower taxes create more revenue to every family. We did it from 2017 to 2020. We saw $4,000 more dollars being kept by the average person in this country. We saw a single parent's household tax burden go down by 70+%, dual income householders by 60%. If we had an incentive-based economy where we provided the incentive of lower taxes, I believe we'd have more capital off the sidelines, creating jobs, investing in the long-term health and viability of our country, and then we would win the global competition. We have the greatest entrepreneurs and minds in the world. We need to let our innovative economy, we need to set it free. And if we had a tax structure to do that and a regulatory environment that was responsible but not overly burdensome, Katie, bar the door.
You know, you just got to keep saying that, because, Senator, because nobody else is. I mean, there's hints, okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking sides or anything, as you know. I believe, the more the merrier, and the best person's going to get the nomination and hopefully throw the left-wingers out in 2024. But no one's really talking about incentives and, for example, attracting global capital. They should, but they don't. And I want to just ask you, because I know one of your other things is the success of the enterprise zones. Enterprise zones, minority business development, that's terribly important.
Absolutely. In the freest, fairest land on God's green earth, if we had an incentive-based economy, specifically like my opportunity zones, we've seen in just 2019, $29 billion flowing into the hardest hit economic areas of the country. And what happened in 2019? We had the lowest level of poverty ever recorded in the history of the country. Why? Because great economists like you, Larry, understand and appreciate the necessity of the Laffer curve. The lower the taxes, the higher the return. And so when we give people that opportunity to invest in each other, it shows that we have faith in America, faith in our future, and faith in the free markets. It is the marvel of the world. We are the country that redefined poverty every place on the globe. We can do it again, starting at home, by having an innovative, creative economy with incentives that encourages people to invest now and not defer it, but invest now. So I have a lot of opportunities to talk about the success of the opportunity zones. I never pass up one.
Good.
It's one of the greatest stories not told.
Well, Senator Scott, I hope you get that megaphone out and go on ahead and say what you just said on this show, because it needs to be said.
Yes, sir.
I'm not really hearing enough of it. Art Laffer always says this, and I agree. The Republican Party has got to be the stewards of growth and prosperity. You got to send that message, which is what you just said. You said it beautifully, sir. You've always said it. As long as I've known you, you've said it. You're just,
I keep listening to you, Larry.
You're one
the
of
best
us.
way to learn how to say it well.
All right. Senator Tim Scott. This is a good day for South Carolina senators on this show. Thank you very much.